They are Balondo youth with a passion for their culture, preparing for their heritage exam. Their history, geography, cuisine and traditional language will constitute the exam. To some, this has encouraged them to continually promote their identity.
Being in Balondo cultural heritage, we have been able to reconnect with our Efut Balondo people in Calabar.
I grew up in a totally English environment. I was not privileged to study the Balondo language, but thanks to the Balondo cultural heritage, which has enabled me to know many things about the Balondo culture. So it's going to impact my life greatly. First, I'm learning my language, I'm learning my culture alongside, and it makes me very happy. Thanks to Dr. Aja Oro.
It is a vital cultural aspect to some of them. The Balondo believe in ancestor veneration and the creationist philosophy of Morimo and Dongore. Reason why the youth are ensuring a complete enhancement of their culture.
We've made sure that we've created comfortable environments and groups that will assemble ourselves to discuss our dialect, talk our mother tongue and where we are coming from, because we believe that's our root, and we'll put our hands together, we'll make a great Balondo land.
Promote cultural literacy, which involves researching on Balondo culture. This far we have been able to cover subjects like the history, the geography and the culture of the Balondo people.
The people are primed to see themselves as Morondo or proudly Balondo, as well as a unique civilization that is not a member clan of any African people, only their people in the Congo and Efut Balondo in Nigeria. They are friendly, forgiving, civil, hospitable and speaking well-structured mother tongue. In order to preserve this rich cultural patrimony, Dr. Aja Oru, a Balondo scholar, has continuously ensured to shine a spotlight on their cultural heritage. The Balondo developed a self-sufficient economy composed of farming, fishing. Generally, the people cultivate cocoa yams, cassava, yams, vegetables and fruits. This is the identity of these people and they are working to preserve it for the future generation. The Balondo Culture Exam is to ensure that these youths have an understanding of the basics as far as their culture is concerned. Over 30 youth drawn from all the regions of Cameroon participated in this cultural exam in Buea under the guide of Dr. Aja Uru, a scholar and lover of his culture. Their history, philosophy, geography, family structure, food, the people and the picture composition was part of the exam, and it showed how vital this culture is and how it should be preserved.
I have been able to know more about my culture. Growing up, I've always known that Balondo people and the Oroko people were one. But I've seen the differences geographically, the history, they are not the same. So I used to say that I'm Oroko, but with the introduction of the BCH and the BCE exam, I now know where I'm geographically bound. So it really represents something important for me because I get to know all this.
Faire partie de ce mouvement est comme contribuer à faire passer la culture camerounaise d'une génération à une autre. Et pour moi, je suis vraiment ravie d'en faire partie et je voudrais continuer dans cette lancée.
The Balondo Bakonja are a Central West African people whose civilization is situated along the southwest maritime coast of Cameroon. Their origins can be traced back to the early civilization along the banks of the Nyanga and Luapula rivers in the modern Democratic Republic of Congo. The birth and marriage rites, family relationship, death celebration and chieftaincy institution is an important facet of culture which needs to be kept with the younger generation. This will definitely help to reclaim and preserve the rich cultural heritage of the people.
The purpose is to promote cultural literacy, which entails doing research, documenting and publishing the outcomes, and then disseminating the material to Balondo children, youth, to enable them to master or gain mastery of their culture.
They have a rich historical background. The Balondo have been facing threats to the ownership of their lands. These threats were internal and external aggression. But how would the Balondo youth understand and relate with this history? Dr. Aja Oru says it is the responsibility of every Balondo scholar or elite to continuously lay the foundation and build strong Balondo values in their younger ones. The Balondo Cultural Heritage was created in June 2012 to promote cultural literacy among Balondo people, specifically Balondo youth. The task has been research, documentation and publishing of events about the culture, to equally develop a written version of the Balondo language and to promote their ability as a people. Dr. Aja Oru has been working with these Balondo youth for over a decade, having seminars, discussions and talk shows to ensure the preservation of their heritage. With cultural erosion, it is clear that most cultures and history of people and communities are fading away, especially with time, but Balondo youth still hold theirs as a source of pride, especially with guidance of the indefatigable custodian of Balondo culture, Dr. Aja Oru. He has been supporting this project and ensuring that the youth are not left behind. After results of this exam was released, he ensured that cash prizes and scholarships were given to youth who scored a C grade and above.